to the Gracie Academy. Hidon Gracie, Rener Gracie. In 1993, our father created the Ultimate Fighting Championship to showcase the effectiveness of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu to the world.
And now that every professional fighter has added it to their arsenal, we're breaking down precisely how they're using it so you can add it to yours and maybe take up the learning of this gentle, beautiful martial art, self-defense, and way of life.
Wow.
UFC 133, it went down last night. You gotta excuse my voice. We had a kids camp, Gracie Bullyproof kids camp this week. I was yelling at the kids all week in a positive way, in an empowering way, and my voice just went out the door. Okay?
Brian Ebersole and Dennis Hallman. So, Dennis had the back.
Dang.
Right off the beginning.
Like, within seconds, he was on the guy's back.
Yes. Which, of course, people are asking how come he didn't finish the fight and so on, and a big part of it had to do with Ebersole, the way that he would constantly be bringing his elbows over. So basically, the whole time Hallman is underneath right here, and there's no choke, and my hand can't get across the neck, no deal. And I also felt like Ebersole was not allowing himself to fall to the side. Go back. He was purposely keeping his legs wide. I myself, if I was here, I would have held under and over one and wanted to fall to the side to start creating an angle to attack the arm for an arm lock, to maybe isolate his arm right here, you know, boom, triangles from the back, okay? So, but because the angle wasn't created, they didn't fall to the side until the end. Towards the very end, there was the hand did shoot around the neck and then he escaped.
Correctly.
He fell right out of the choke. Now, this was the point.
This was the turning point.
At which
like the neck,
he went for the mount. Go ahead, push my knee right there. He started to do the remount technique. He pushed the knee, but he fell off. Kind of on top and ended up in the guard. Okay, so that was the turning point right there for Dennis Hallman. Now he's on his back. He could have went to the mount. This could have been a really good thing, and he could have went boom and mounted.
But it was largely because, once you lower your back to them right there,
yeah,
it was because this arm here, the bottom arm, never got to an elbow up. He hugged the body right here. He did his leg transfer.
He wanted to do this.
Yeah, because now, even if you mount right there, go ahead. Even if he does that and he gets on top and I bring my knees in, which he did. He pushed the knee and brought his knees in. At least he would have stayed in the guard.
I would have been on top still.
Versus falling over the way Hallman did and then ending up in the bottom of the guard, which, you know, in a 5-minute round, you know, in the situation, it's not the best place to be, obviously. So that was the turning point in that fight where he went from the back to the remount attempt, And
I felt like Hallman kind of didn't really fight too hard to not go on his back. He's very comfortable with submissions. He was going for the back, rear naked chokes.
Right, and after he fell off, he went for a guillotine there and almost had it, but you know, Ebersole was too slick on the counters there of the controlling of the legs to prevent the guillotine. As long as you control the legs and the hips, you control the guillotine pressure ability.
I felt like if you roll jiu-jitsu with Hallman, he'll do good. But then when Ebersole started throwing punches, right, from like an open guard, there was very little understanding of how to maybe use the knees to keep the distance. So much so, I felt like Hallman was trying to hit. You know, he was. He was trying to punch from the bottom.
He was trying to hammer fist from here, from the bottom of the guard. Now, this guy's, you know, 83, 82 professional fights, you know, so he's clearly put in his time. But the people watching this, we need you guys to take one very important thing. You can't be on the bottom of the guard and be hammer fisting your opponent from down there, because you can't possibly be doing that and preventing your face from getting smashed in at the same time. It just doesn't work. Only if you had 4 arms, okay? And he didn't. So his legs were kind of dangling here. His hands were swinging wildly. And then you know, Ebersole was able to come right down the center with that clean elbow, and that's what put him out. But when that elbow came, he was going very aggressively, attacking from the bottom of the guard. And that's not a very intelligent choice from a punch protection perspective.
Yeah, first things first, is don't get knocked out.
The truth is, maybe in the eyes of the judges, he's trying to do that to impress and get some punches in, but clearly you see what happened. My friends, very simple. In a fight, he who manages the distance manages the damage. And from the bottom of the guard, Hallman wasn't concerned with managing the distance. He was only, yeah, it was a nice takedown by against Philippou by Jorge Rivera, and they ended up off the takedown in the half guard. Omoplata came in right here. Philippou did a great job of keeping his legs heavy and controlling his wrist. If this wrist would have slipped out, he would have got out. Now, Rogan, I don't think I've heard Rogan yell so loudly at the monitors, okay, in a fight.
I think he thought he was actually speaking to the fighters.
Rogan was in that match right there. Because what Rogan was saying, which was all 100% correct, was that at this point he needs to scoot his hips out. He needs to rock up. He needs to rock up. Philippou needed to rock up to sit. This hand that was hugging the leg had to come over the body. Both legs had to move out of the way, and then you had to go up and break the shoulder here by rocking forward, or by going under, S-gripping the hands here, over under, and then pushing out and driving forward. It's breaking the shoulder here when you dive forward. Now the challenge with the Omoplata, this technique, is that every time you want to sit up, it's kind of hard, because if he don't sit back a little bit, picking up, it off balances you, so you don't have the greatest sitting leverage. That's just the truth.
And you saw Rivera knew what was happening, and he knew that could have happened because he brought his knee in the stomach right here.
So then Philippou kept trying to clear this knee out and then hug the leg, and he stayed here temporarily, but it never really sat up the way he hoped for.
Well, it's a good little rest point, right?
Correct.
And right now, Jorge is not in danger of being hurt, knocked out, so he's resting.
So if you guys are ever doing this technique right here, just the idea is that you want to get this person's shoulder to the ground. So while pinning this down right here, hipping out, stiffening up, once their shoulder touches down, you can rock up and go. But as long as their shoulder is elevated and leaning you back, you're not going to get the leverage to get to full sit.
Do the whole move?
Yes. Throw the legs back, lock hands, and dive forward. Okay? Now what ended up happening in that situation instead, rotate your back towards him, rotate more, is this. After realizing he couldn't sit up, Philippou went from here, he let go, and he went to this situation here. He went for a toe footlock from here, which is a pretty common finish off the failed Omoplata. And as he did that, it kind of interestingly set in a situation. He went over and he ended up rolling on top. Boom. And that was partially because of his own initiative, but also because of
Jorge started putting his knee in and just kind of rolled. He wanted the roll to happen.
He wanted to pull his arm out, but in doing so, he gave up the sweep. So if it wasn't used for this submission, the Omoplata attempt served its purpose as a reversal, as a sweep opportunity, which it often does. The Omoplata is more of a sweep. I'd say when I go for it 80% of the time, I don't finish the submission. 80% of the time I'll lock it up and they'll off-balance themselves or they'll lose their balance. Like another common attempt on the counter is when you're here, when they will try to jump over your head, I'll catch this leg and I'll push the other leg, boom. And then you go to the side mount. So sweep is like 80%, 20% of the time you'll finish it. But as long as you accept it for that, and against high-level guys like Rivera, it's not going to be an easy submission. These guys know their stuff, you guys. So Joe was right, but you have to be patient because, man, the balance is tricky on that sit-up. Omoplata is one of the hardest submissions to finish when you set it up. It's very hard.
And even once you sit up and you hug her on the body, you have to lean so far north to make the shoulder hurt. So
there it is. So Philippou took that one decision. Congratulations, bro. Let's talk about Tito a little bit in the situation there, man. Rashad obviously got to the side mount. Great control overall.
Yeah, he's very good with his weight.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a wrestler.
And so there wasn't much. Rashad, for the most of the time, was trying to establish the crucifix position here. He eventually got it where the arm got trapped between the legs here, and that's pretty good. You know, for personally, when I established the split control here, or this crucifix control, I prefer to have the shin on the arm because it reduces the amount of slack that exists. When you trap Tito's arm, it's so open that bring your hand back inside, bro. The hand really is loose. But if I do this, or better yet,
yeah, it's just
this. Now bring your hand out. My foot serves as an additional slackify remove.
That's right, slackify remover.
De-slackifier. The shin serves as an additional de-slackifier, and it keeps everything very tight. Bump your base here. The foot is there. The hand, you have great base, but it's not just two legs straddling. It's actually the shin.
Don't teach guys this, bro. It's too good.
Damn, come on, bro. You know we don't keep secrets around here. He's joking. Hey, we tell it all. So nice control. The most impressive thing from there was Tito rolled in. Impressive, but maybe not caught by me. He rolled into his knees for the turtle, and then Rashad spun to the back here, and then Tito rolled through and went for this.
Wow, Kleber. Did Kleber teach him that?
Kleber, Huntington Beach.
That was really good.
Congrats, Kleber. Good job, bro. So then he went for this, but the knee turned a little bit, and then Rashad was too slick for that.
Yeah, knee bars are not what's easy to do, for sure.
Very hard, but think about the evolution in Tito's jiu-jitsu to even have gone for the rolling knee bar from the bottom of the turtle.
Very nice.
So congratulations, you guys. Great battle there. And Rashad's control and his endurance just was too much. It was just too much. So he got it.
And who else just came in with too much power?
You keep talking about
who just came in with too much power that he couldn't handle it, right? Vitor Belfort, right? He's back out of nowhere. Just boom, came in so explosive. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's so major. Now, last Gracie Breakdown, we told you guys that we were going to give away the coolest t-shirt of all time, the Grandmaster Andy Gracie t-shirt with the applique Gracie triangle. The question of the day was, what submission did I catch Hito in for the first time in my life? How did I catch him as a younger brother? And the person who submitted, or the person who posted a comment, favorited the video, and subscribed was a YouTube user named KaneBen895. So he wins the shirt.
And he said triangle.
He proposed triangle, which was...
And it was right here, this is where we were. But I stood up. We were probably like 21 years old. I started slipping my head out. And his triangle was kind of a little bit weak right here. My knee was in the middle. He grabbed my wrist, rotated my arm, and arm lock right here. So it's a triangle arm lock.
Yes. And it's a nasty one because, and the only reason Hito tapped, because he wouldn't have tapped if there was any type of delay, it was because it's such a quick squeeze, this one. When your elbow touches the hips right there, anytime you're trying to slip out of the triangle,
you have to straighten the arm.
You're positioning yourself for your arm to be caught. So I was just, you know, I had reached that maturity level to where I saw it, I took it, he tapped, and you guys, you don't understand the amount of...
What that did for you.
The amount of built up anger and fire that was just released from that final victory for me. And I haven't caught him since, but I keep trying, you know.
Yeah, it's funny.
No, but it's all good, you guys. It feels good. It's all good. We're learning. We're going. So, KaneBen895, congratulations. You're going to get the Grandmaster t-shirt. It's time for the next giveaway. This one goes to our friend. The next one is the Gracie Bullyproof, you guys. Show my friends.
Gracie Bullyproof?
You guys, we learned Gracie's jiu-jitsu before we could walk. But when we first started learning, it wasn't jiu-jitsu. It was Gracie games. It was play on the living room floor with our dad. We didn't know we were learning. It was kind of like undercover instruction by our father.
And we have no doubt that there are some jiu-jitsu practitioners out there who have children, who know kids, that they want to do jiu-jitsu, but the child will not do it.
The child won't go into a group setting in an academy where it's intimidating, a lot of tough little kids. So you got to introduce them gradually. My friends, there is a right way and a wrong way to teach children jiu-jitsu. And even lots of jiu-jitsu schools don't even know the right way. If you have a child between 4 and 14 years old, or you plan on having a child one day, or you know someone who has a child who you care about, Gracie Bullyproof.
So it's all of you out there.
It's the way to go. My friends, from 4 to 14 years old, all the games, all the techniques, the rules of engagement. How do you deal with the bully when the teachers can't help, the parents can't help, the police can't help, and all that is left is you for the child? What do they do?
Now, would I be lying if I said that getting these DVDs will help parents teach their kids to do things besides jiu-jitsu?
Bro, you would not be lying if you said that.
Correct. So learning, watching this right here, the parent preparation DVD,
yes,
you're going to go beyond. They don't have to even do jiu-jitsu. If you want them to do this, this, or this will help you teach them how to do that.
You know what the best part is? 11 DVDs. Once you perfect all the DVDs, have your child film themselves doing the techniques. You do it with them, and then upload it to GracieKids.com. We'll watch your child do the techniques, and if your 6-year-old is doing the techniques to the same standard that our 6-year-olds here at the Gracie Academy are doing, we'll send you the kids' belt, white, yellow belt in the mail, so you guys can progress, learn as a family, make it a bonding experience. So in order to enter to win the Gracie Bullyproof Instructional DVD series, all you have to do is 3 things. Number 1, comment on this video. Number 2, favorite this video. And number 3, subscribe to the Gracie Breakdown channel. You guys know the procedure. And your comment on this video can be what you think the last movie Hito watched was. What movie did Hito go on Thursday night at 12:01 a.m. to watch? Because that's how excited he was about the movie. Name the movie, post a comment, and we'll check you guys out.
UFC fans all over the world have been blown away by the ultimate fan experience. And it's coming to the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas on October 7th and 8th. UFC Fan Expo is an all-access spectacle for the ultimate fan. Meet the sport's biggest fighters and industry icons. Attend special events, keynote addresses, training sessions, grappling tournaments, and so much more. The UFC Fan Expo, Houston, Texas, October 7th and 8th. Tickets on sale now at UFCFanExpo.com.